Not too bad of a week for weather.
Oh, man.
Could use another little rain. That'd be nice.
Had someone mention that to me. Mark, whenever I ask you about the weather, you say you could use some rain. I said, well, if Paul ever finds out I'm not asking for rain, I'm in trouble.
That's right.
The Breakfast Flakes podcast brought to you by the Blue Cat Bar and Grill. Next to the Roadside Event Center in Huntley. The Blue Cat. It's where it's at.
523, Mark Wilson, Paul Mussaben checking in. Broadcast day. One Line Monday coming up after 7 this morning. Running out of chances to get qualified for the Flakes trip. We'll be out of Godfather's Pizza in the Heights on Wednesday over lunch, 11 to 1. If you're not familiar with the app, it's called the Marco Polo app. And you can send little recorded video messages to people if you would like. And I had sent a Marco Polo to my second oldest niece, who Marco Polo'd me back and said, I didn't even finish watching your Marco Polo. She goes, I don't want to hear any more about this free Mexico trip at this great resort you go to. I said, well, I can give you the name of the resort. You can look it up if you'd like. But Deanna tells me 91 days we're getting on a plane and getting the hell out of here for a week.
How many?
91.
91? Well, we were at 105 last week, weren't we?
I'm not the one counting. Talk to her.
Well, that's probably right.
My deal is I can just go to the airport and hang out for a week. And you let me know when there's a seat on the plane. And then I can go. It doesn't matter to me.
Wow. And less than 2 weeks to the trip party. So, yeah.
Had a solicitor knock at my door for Tim Sheehy and Donald Trump on Saturday.
You know, we don't get many.
I'm guessing you don't get trick-or-treaters.
We don't get many out there in the Hay Basin area where...
They're not walking up and down the road?
No.
I answered the door. A kid says, sir, will you be voting? I said, yes, I will. He goes, can I ask how you're voting? I said, ask all you want. Well, I'm here because of Tim Sheehy and Donald Trump. I said, isn't Sheehy that out-of-stater? He said, yeah. I said, what state does he come from? Well, I don't rightly know, sir. That's okay. Do what you got to do to make a living. That's fine.
Mine is already in.
As is mine.
So I wonder if we can call the courthouse and get a tally. Because I saw over the weekend there's a lot of news reports coming in from places all around the country where the ballots that are in are way ahead of where they were last year.
Okay.
Which is good.
Yeah, it is.
Vote early, folks. We don't want a snafu on Election Day because they know that conservative people will vote on Election Day no matter what, and that's when all the snafus happen. Mm-hmm. Like in Arizona last year when they were telling people, sorry, our precinct stuff is down. You have to drive 72 miles to get to the other precinct to vote. And that cost, what's her name, the election out there. She's running again, but Inman early. I see down there in, there was a story today, if I can find it here, down in North Carolina, where the hurricane hit. Their absentee ballots and their the amount that they have in running ahead of last year.
Oh, geez, good.
And that's where they had the hurricane. You know why? Because those folks... They saw the results of FEMA, and they said, we're voting.
We're not waiting around.
That guy should have been fired. Mayorkas is in charge not only of FEMA, but also in charge of the Secret Service, and he's in charge of the border. And he has sucked on all three of them and should have been fired. John Tester would not vote to impeach him, though. He thinks he's doing a great job. Mm-hmm. So he thinks he's doing a great job with the Secret Service, with FEMA, with the border. So John Tester didn't vote to impeach him. It's because he got the memo. And every story you see in America on any candidate, I don't care if it's a mayor, a dog catcher of Ekalaka, the president, a senator, every story that you see from every media outlet almost in America will be negative towards the Republican or conservative.
It's criminal. It's criminal. It's not journalism.
It's not. It's awful. Every one. Every single one. Every one. I watched some of the news programs over the weekend, and all they talk about is Donald Trump. They don't talk about their candidate.
Because she's got no qualifications. She's got no experience.
Everybody talks about Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. You turn on CNN, they're talking about Donald Trump. You turn on NBC, they're talking about Donald Trump. No one is talking about their candidate. Mm-hmm. They have nothing. It's crazy. Story today from AP. Voters remain largely divided on whether they prefer Donald Trump or Kamala Harris to handle the economy or taxes. Do you believe that?
No.
She's going to raise taxes like crazy.
She's going to let the Trump tax cuts expire and raise on top of that.
But the poll said 7 out of 10 Americans, that's 70%, said the nation's going in the wrong direction. So how could they say that Harris and Biden administration is doing a better job on the economy and taxes? They're not. They know they're not. They got to make the article seem that way. But nobody stops at my house. So, no trick-or-treaters. I'm ready every year.
Uh-huh.
No trick-or-treaters. Nothing. I don't decorate for Halloween, but...
Well, don't forget the Joe and Linda Goggins, Turk and Jenny Stovall having that barbecue tonight for Tim Sheehy. 5 o'clock at Pay's Auction Yards. If you're going to go, it's a barbecue. They would like you to RSVP so they have an accurate food count. But
or bring your own steak. They'll probably cook it. What was the big ruckus at the Holiday Store? Did you see that on Saturday? Down here on 27th and 6th. They had a big something 3 o'clock in the morning. There were like, God, there must have been eight police cars there surrounding the building. I don't know. Somebody tried to get out of there with a Kit Kat bar without paying for it, or maybe the bathroom was condemned and somebody wanted to use it anyway.
Well, I don't know, because newspaper didn't have anything. Neither one of the TV stations, websites had anything.
Well, they had a big ruckus down there. They're going to build a big new one there. Probably have shopping cart parking.
They'll need it.
Stuff like that, yeah.
I know the guy that manages the Albertsons down here on 6th. He had to go out and start driving around neighborhoods, stealing some of his shopping carts back because they were low. Folks, those aren't for sale. If you see somebody driving one of those, they stole it.
Yeah. Out there on King Avenue, you got Dodge, you got Ford, you got Frontier Chevy. You don't have Shop Mart where you go in and they got the shopping carts all lined up, prices on the windows. None of that.
No,
none of that. I was up in the Heights. I had to come in Saturday night and I had to get some drive screws for planks and stuff. I was out getting ready to wean calves and fixing the corrals up and stuff. And hell, there was a bunch of people camped underneath the entryway going into the walk-in clinic up there in the Heights. Had their shopping carts there and their tent pitched in under there.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now, do you reserve those spaces, and do you know what they cost?
I'm not sure. I think it's a drawing that FWP does. You got to put in for that permit. Yeah, they were set up there. One in Ace Hardware, and all of their Christmas decorations are up.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas trees. It's 75, and I'm sweating, and I'm thinking, I just do not feel like Christmas right now.
Paul, if you're just now getting your Christmas stuff out for display, you have missed my mother's Christmas shopping. That is her thing, man. She hits the sales after Christmas, finds it on sale. Oh, yeah, I got everybody done for next year.
Jeez.
And there must be a lot of people that do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've got it out.
However, I happened to walk by the shower heads. So I walked over there to look, and they had, in fact, I bought another one because I'm gonna take one out and give it to Maddie and Zach. That's their housewarming present.
Well, you love that grandbaby.
I really do. So I'm gonna give them one. But they must have had 8 or 10 of the 2-gallon per minute ones on the beam there, the little rack that they sell them with.
I was out Saturday afternoon and had somebody ask me about him too. What was the name of that thing? Because I want to write it down because I've heard you guys talk about it. I said, I know it's crazy, but Paul and I both just love them.
Because when I went in there and bought mine originally, there was only one. And now there was like 8. There must have been 8 or 10 of them on there. They had a rush on those, Wilson.
It'd be funny to talk to somebody from that corporate office. We do not know what in the hell's going on in Billings.
I know. From the Whedon Corporation. Why are we selling so damn many shower heads? Did they stink over there or what? Love it.
Get ready for a spooktacular October at the Roadside Event Center. Friday, October 11th, join them for Bingo, a fundraiser for Pack the Place in Pink. Get tickets now for Dueling Pianos on Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. And plan for a Halloween weekend filled with fun. The Blue Cat has fantastic food and drinks. Sushi and sliders on Sundays, Italian Italian Night Mondays, Prime Rib Saturdays, and Loaded Bloody Marys all weekend. The Blue Cat Bar and Grill, Northern Avenue in Huntley, just 9 miles east of the Metro Park exit.
In fact, I was hoping they may have got the other ones in, the 2.5 or 3 gallon a minute ones, but they didn't get those in. So
I got a 2.5, but I haven't put it on because I only used the one shower. So
yeah, and you won't. It'll be in the package. Mark will be dead. We'll be going through his crap. I'm going to take that brand new shower head, 2.5 gallon per minute,
and nobody will know how good a deal you got.
Paul, don't you want one of his Glocks or anything? Nope, I want that shower head. That's what I want. Yep. But yeah, they had a bunch of them there. I would imagine places like Costco and all those kind of... I would imagine they have all their Christmas stuff out.
Probably.
You know, you probably can't buy Reese yet. You know, the fresh Reese that they have. Probably can't get those yet, but everything
Well, you know,
else.
back 15 years ago, you didn't have to worry about it because some kid would be knocking on your door selling them as some sort of fundraiser for school.
Yeah. Scouts always sold them.
Yeah?
You know, the Scouts always sold Reese, stuff like that.
All the kids on my street are all grown up, so I haven't gotten my door knocked on in a while.
Well, not everybody on your street's grown up.
Yes, they are.
No, they aren't. Not everybody, Mark, on your street is grown up yet. Not everybody.
All the kids
Not everybody.
are grown up. Except I got a knock last week. What the heck did I buy from Ray Ray for? It was $25. And it's so funny to deal with kids. Now, do I pay you when it comes in? Oh, no, you pay me now. Okay, here you go.
Everybody's grown up. I had my physical Friday, talked to the doc, and how's Mark doing? I said, why? You don't have to ask how Mark is doing. He's drinking Diet Pepsi and has Nestle Crunch bars for breakfast. How do you think Mark is doing? He goes, right on. Right on.
And my blood pressure's back down without medication.
Right on. Grown up in the neighborhood. Oh, yeah. See, here you go. North Carolina early voters exceed the 2020 voter turnout, even with Hurricane Helene. State Board of Elections Friday said that 353,166 people cast ballots statewide on Thursday. That's 4,600 more than the numbers cast on the first day in 2020. See, they're mad because of the response to that hurricane.
Right.
So we ought to have our numbers. Our county people should have ours. I mean, if other states can release how many people have already cast votes,
You would think so, yeah.
they don't have to give you results, but I'm sure they count them every day, know how many have been turned in. One of the early voters from down there in Asheville, they were really hit hard. Bill Whalen said, in my neighborhood, there is widespread understanding of the importance of this election, and we're getting out and voting.
Good.
So 3.6 million voters in North Carolina, and last election in 2020, 65% of their state voted. That's usually about where we're at in Montana. We're usually about 65%. So we'll see how that goes. The last person to vote in the United States on Election Day will be on an island in Alaska's Aleutian Islands, a tiny village called Adak. That's where the last people cast ballots. Adak, their town, they did away with absentee voting in 2012 and added in-person voting only. That island is bordered by the Bering Sea to the north and the North Pacific Ocean to the south, and is closer to Russia than they are mainland Alaska. In fact, in 2012, they were still casting votes even though the presidential race was already decided. That's why I wish they would do primary day like they do election day, because by the time primaries get out here, Montana, Wyoming, places like that, the candidates already secured enough of the delegates to get the nomination.
True.
2012, that's when Mitt Romney ran. So you had your choice of which Democrat you wanted, Barack Obama or Mitt Romney. Wasn't that a great choice? God. 2012. It's a famous island. Never heard of it. But Adak Island was a starting point in World War II. Was home to 27,000 of our combat troops. They all gathered there before they had to take nearby Attu Island from the Japanese in May of 43. Some of the famous people that have been there, Joe Louis, Franklin Roosevelt, 80,000 acres set aside there for the Navy and Air Force. Then the base closed in 1997, but the Navy still has 5,600 acres there. When the base was active, sounds like Great Falls. When the base was active, there were 6,000 people that lived on the island.
It does.
In 2020, there was 171.
Sounds a lot like Great Falls.
Yeah, base closed, everybody took off. They have a rule in Alaska. In order for a school to stay open, it has to have 10 kids. They only had 6 in 2023, so they had to close the school. And they have to go to another school district. Probably get on a sled pulled by dogs, pick them up every day. But that's Adak up in Alaska. That's a big state. God, that's huge. Whenever you see that state and it's sitting up there compared to the United States, how big that thing is, holy schmoly. I mean, the 4 biggest states in our main country here will fit right there. Big state.
I like the fact working in radio, you're a little more flexible with, you can kind of talk about anything. TV, sometimes you have to create news, which is why the City Brew Rock got some coverage over the weekend. I don't care. Get out there with a camera and find me some news, damn it.
Oh, heck. See what's cooking here. See, the post office, they settled a strike. UPS, United Postal Service, reaches a deal. Includes pay raises and air-conditioned trucks.
Boy, that'd be a thing for me.
Runs through November 26. Letter carriers have been working without a new contract, 200,000 of them. Among the improvements, the deal increases the top pay and reduces the amount of time it takes new workers to reach the top pay level. All city carriers will get 3 annual pay increases of 1.3% each by 2025. And cost of living adjustments. And the Postal Service will make every effort to provide mail trucks that have air conditioning. They got these new electric trucks now, that they bought for the Postal Service. Within a few years, the new fleet will have expanded to 60,000 of these electric models.
Wow.
Whew, it's a lot. Rural mail carriers aren't covered by that contract. They're all represented by a different union.
That's odd.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So, Postal Service is getting new mail trucks.
Oh, here you go. Lori Riemann sent this in. Did you know you can track your absentee ballot for the general election? Visit votemt.gov to track your absentee ballot.
Oh, yeah?
The status of your ballot may include sent, received, accepted, or contact your county.
Huh.
Folks, I don't know how much you like your job, but somebody's job is to enter all those names and votes for the county.
Starting pay for a House representative when they are elected to Congress is $174,000 plus benefits. They only work about 150 maybe days a year. That's it.
Right.
All their expenses, all that kind of stuff. And Tester's worth $15 million after that. It's made $2 billion as a senator total. That's before taxes. Where did he get all that wealth, folks?
Well, don't you guys all make that farming?
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I got a big check in the mailbox again. I just don't know what to do with it, Wilson. Yeah, we do.
Well, I appreciate you coming into the radio station still.
Yeah, you a-hole. Yeah, we all make that. Yeah, we're all loaded. You bet. I see I think they shut down the water in the big ditch.
They did, yep.
I could tell it was down quite a bit. I was down checking waters and stuff over the weekend. I could see it was down. So I think that's done for the year. I don't think there'll be any more water in that for a while. So that's over. And
oh, there we go. From Q2, there's a nice doubling down on Tim Sheehy. Fresh scrutiny to the gunshot wound story.
Well, sure. A hit piece, huh?
Yeah, well, he's leading.
Yeah, a hit piece from Q2. Imagine that. You don't get awarded Purple Hearts and Bronze Stars when you're out of the military.
No.
And if people only knew some of the missions that those Navy SEALs and stuff went on and what they do, they'd have a whole different admiration and respect for them.
Yeah.
But
because the guy's running for office, us, we'll do anything we can to tear him down.
And 99.9% of all those guys who have bravely served their country in that rank, who have done the dirty work for all of us, they don't talk about what they did. That's the one thing great about the Navy SEALs. Their secrecy, their missions, how they do things. That's what makes them such an elite force. They don't tell people. They know what they've done. They go into the biggest hellholes in the country and do things and rescue people and carry out missions, and we never hear about it. You never know about it.
Get ready for a spooktacular October at the Roadside Event Center. Friday, October 11th, join them for Bingo, a fundraiser for Pack the Place in Pink. Get tickets now for Dueling Pianos on Friday and Saturday, October 18th and 19th. And plan for a Halloween weekend filled with fun. The Blue Cat has fantastic food and drinks. Sushi and sliders on Sundays, Italian night Mondays, prime rib Saturdays, and loaded Bloody Marys all weekend. The Blue Cat Bar and Grill, Northern Avenue in Huntley, just 9 miles east of the Metro Park exit.
And testers down in the polls. So they got to do whatever they can. They're doing whatever they can. That's why it'd be interesting to see how many votes have already been cast. There's nothing that's going to happen between now and Election Day, folks, that's going to change anybody's mind. Nothing. And people have already made their mind up. People have already voted. And now it's pretty much just getting the word out to vote. And that's what you have to do. Walktober. That's what they call it. Stay physical. Walk. Get your kids out there. Get them exercising. Kids need it. Muscle growth, weight gain. God, there are so many fat kids now. It's unbelievable. Or I guess I should say overweight. I'm sorry. I guess I should say that.
I'm guessing your kid's a catcher, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Don't do anything.
No.
Sit around.
Got your face stuck in your phone.
Yeah, something. God, there were never any overweight kids. Never. And if there was one, as kids, you made fun of them because it was such an anomaly.
It was, yeah.
I mean, you never, and usually their problem was a medical problem. And things were cruel back then, but fewer children are getting the recommended amount of physical activity now.
You know what? You couldn't sing the jingle the same way today. Fat kids, skinny kids, even kids with chickenpox love hot dogs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could. They wouldn't let you sing that.
No.
That's right. Calorie challenge, kids. That's what it would be. Here you go. Here's another medical article today. Whooping cough at a decade-high level. We had that. We just about had that wiped out. And the open borders with tens of thousands of unvaccinated kids coming in, pertussis, whooping cough grew substantially. CDC said so far this year, 18,500 cases of whooping cough. Kindergarten vaccination rates dipped last year, and vaccine exemptions are at an all-time high. 86% of kindergartners, for instance, in Wisconsin got the whooping cough vaccine, compared to 92% nationally. Treated with antibiotics. Starts as a cold, runny nose. Was always common until the vaccine was introduced in the 50s. Then it became part of the routine childhood vaccination program. It's in a shot with tetanus and diphtheria. Combo shot is recommended for adults every 10 years. I didn't know that. They used to call it the 100-day cough because it lasts for 100 days.
Yikes.
Seen mostly in infants and young children. Can get complications with it, but most of the cases are in kids. Antibiotics will take care of it, but it's preventable. That's the thing. They have the good vaccine for that one. And I wonder if there's still sticklers on vaccinations anymore for kids. They used to be real sticklers. I mean, you had to have your measles vaccine, all that, or they would not let you in.
Right.
Probably now they want the money. So, we don't believe in it. Religious views, stuff like that. So.
Well, what was the one a couple years ago in School District 2? They were like...
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't matter if you had the vaccination.
Yeah, that was the old superintendent.
Right.
Before Upham.
Right. Terry...
Bauch.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he let him in.
Right.
Yeah.
So it depends. It's not how sick you make the other kids. It depends on management.
That's right. Geez, people pay more attention to the vaccines for their dogs than they do their children. I'm not kidding you.
That's what's funny about it. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Oh God, I got to get my dog to the vet. He's got to get his distemper and his rabies boosters.
Uh-huh.
Well, what about the pertussis shot here? The what? Has he been updated on his meat? What? They don't. They have no clue. But their dogs, they do.
Mm-hmm.
The Bordella vaccine or something. I got a card the other day for my dogs again needing a booster and something. So, yeah, they pay more attention to the dogs. And, but I think vaccines on animals are more effective because we do it by weight. And you got a cow that gets an illness and there's something that will cure it. You give them the vaccine based on their weight, and it works almost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You go in for a shot, you get the same shot, Mark, as your daughter.
That's right.
That's how it works. Cattle vaccines, it'll say give them 2 cc's or 5 cc's for every 100 pounds of weight or anything like that. Well, we don't do that in humans, although they weigh you,
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that. But
they write that down just for reference the next time you come in.
Yeah.
It's got no effect on what they give you.
no.
That's why I think it'd be great if you worked at the airport and we start weighing people.
That's right.
Oh, blah, 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 blah. Don't even step on the scale. You're not getting on my plane.
Well, no, you get on the plane, but you have to pay $50 too, like the guy that's got a 100-pound bag. Or 51-pound bag, I think it's what. That's what's nice about when you fly first class. You don't have to pay the extra.
Right.
You don't pay the extra baggage.
Right. And I don't know if my bags have ever weighed less than what they do right now. After going so many times to Mexico, I know what I need and I don't need much.
Mm-hmm. If your bag is over 51 pounds and you're going on our trip, you're taking too much.
Yeah.
You're taking too much. And it picks up humidity. And they check them. Favorite story of all time. One of my favorite stories of all time when we were leaving Mexico and one of the guys was checking in and his bag was overweight and the guy at the counter said, your bag's overweight. It's 55 pounds. Now you can either go back to the end of the line and take stuff out of your bag and put it in another bag and repack. And folks, those airports, there's thousands of people in there.
Not going to the back
Nobody
of the line.
wants it.
No.
Or you can pay me $100. So the guy didn't want to mess around with it, so he gave him $100. Next, his buddy goes up there. They weigh his bag. It's overweight. It's like 58 pounds. He tells the guy, your bag's overweight. You got 2 options. You can either go back to the end of the line and transfer stuff into another bag, or you can pay the overweight charge of $100. The guy's looking around. There's 1,000 people behind him in line getting pissed. Come on, yay, oh, let's go. Everybody's crabby, leaving. I'll pay the fine. He says, okay, $100. He gets out his credit card to pay with a credit card instead of cash. The guy looks and sees that he has a credit card and says, oh, don't worry about it. You go on through. Oh, my God. I thought, you corrupt people.
Some parts of Mexico are a little sketchy.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. So, lesson, folks. You don't pack too much.
No.
Don't pack too much.
Because some of you are going to need to buy a suitcase to get the stuff back home that you buy when you're down there.
Oh, you first-timers especially. Yeah. You're going to be bringing home T-shirts and starfish and all kinds of stuff.
Rugs.
Yep, rugs. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, that rug.
Our first year on a cruise on a duty-free shop, I bought 2 bottles of whiskey because I saved like $4 a bottle.
Huge mistake.
Huge mistake.
That's right, folks.
Come back to America, pay whatever they're charging.
That's right. You got to pack it, check it.
Right.
It's just a huge mistake.
Right.
Huge mistake.
What are you doing? You're not drinking your whiskey on my airplane.
Yeah. You want to bring back a set of earrings. You found some nice silver, stuff like that. Yeah, that's okay. But put that in your carry-on.
Yeah.
Put that in your carry-on. Mm-hmm. I brought back some amethyst earrings for one of my daughters, and I put it was in the jewelry box, and I put it in my tennis shoe and stuffed socks in my tennis shoe, and I got back, and it was gone.
Uh-huh.
They found it, and then the guy checking the luggage goes, and they take it over there, and some guy pulls it out.
Yeah.
And then they split it.
Right.
Damn them.
Mm-hmm. Well, talked to a couple people that's happened to.
Yep. So I learned my lesson early. Anything valuable like that, you put in your carry-on.
Exactly.
You take with you. So
Because some things in Mexico are sketchy.
that's right. And you'll learn all these tips when we have our big get-together for the party. We have 150 people going, and we have 2 more spots left, and you only have less than 2 weeks to get qualified for that party.
That's right.
So you better listen up.
Godfather's Wednesday for lunch, 11 to 1. Some on-air qualifying, but you're running out of time.
Yes, sir.
All right, first news coming up, 6:14.
The Breakfast Flakes podcast brought to you by the Blue Cat Bar and Grill. Next to the Roadside Event Center in Huntley. The Blue Cat. It's where it's at.